So this is the way they shape up for round 5 of the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. Race 1 winner, Colin Turkington, number 20 on pole position. Josh Cook, number 66, looking for his first win since the 2022 season, starts alongside. On road 2, the reigning and 4-time champion Ash Sutton in car 1. And number 11, Andrew Watson, in his start of his second season of the British Touring Car Championship. The former GT racer starts 4th with his new team, Toyota Gazoo Racing, in the Corolla. Then it's the BMW of Jake Hill, number 24, and the Ford Focus of number 32, Dan Rowbottom, on row 3. Row 4, we've got Tom Chilton and Tom Ingram, the two Team Bristol Street Motors teammates in their Hyundais. But with Tom Ingram now having full access to all 12 available laps of hybrid rather than the 5 laps that he had in race 1. Watch for the championship leader to come through. Row 5, we've got number 16, Aidan Moffat, and 40, Aaron Taylor-Smith. Aaron, the leader of the Independence Championship, and he won the Independence category in race 1. Row 6, number 12, Rob Huff, former World Touring Car Champion, and 77, Sam Osborne. Row 7, number 88, Mikey Doble, and 222, Chris Smiley. Row 8, 33, Adam Morgan, and 29, Scott Sumpton. Row 9, 22, Nick Halstead, and 27, Dan Camish, who had a puncture when he was running second in race 1. And then row 10, 14, Ronan Pearson, and 18, Daryl De Leon. So expect Ronan Pearson, Dan Camish, and Adam Morgan to come and try and charge through from the back of the grid. 24 laps of racing about to get underway then, with the last 2 or 3 rows of the grid now lining up. Could be all about the start. We know the rear-wheel drive BMWs are always pretty rapid off the start, but it's a tricky pole position here with the camber that you get at Brands Hatch. So maybe half a chance for Josh Cook to do something into turn 1. Let's find out. We're about to go racing for the second time today with the Kwik Fit British Touring Car Championship. The cacophony of noise as they drop the clutches. It's a really good start for Colin Turkington. Not such a good start, actually, for Josh Cook. And he's going to come under fire from Jake Hill, who's trying to go around the outside of him in the BMW for second place. That doesn't quite happen. Ash Sutton tucks in behind in 4th place. And it's a nice big advantage for Colin Turkington as they go up towards Druids for the first time in the race. Josh Cook still closes the door, but then up the inside of him comes Jake Hill to sneak through and go to second through the apex of the corner. So the Toyota Corolla goes down to 3rd, not what he wanted. And then you've got the 2 Napa Racing Fords of Ash Sutton and Dan Rowbottom next up. Tom Ingram at the moment has just about got the jump on Tom Chilton and has got the better line into Surtees, but they're still absolutely side by side, just outside of the top 6. But look at the advantage at the end of the first lap of the race for Colin Turkington. He's going to have something like a 1 second lead here, maybe just under, when he gets to the end of the first lap. Just got to hold on to it for another 23 now. So it's a BMW 1-2, not for the first time today, but a terrific start to get up to second place for Jake Hill. It's actually 1.3 seconds, the gap from first to second. So beautiful lap for the Northern Irishman as he leads once again into Druids. But look at them concertinaing up in the battle for second place. Josh Cook might be under fire here from Ash Sutton. They're going wheel to wheel in race 1. They've done it many times before, the friends and former teammates. They're still side by side, and Sutton goes all the way around the outside of him through Graham Hill Bend and gets himself up to 3rd place. Fantastic move. You'd expect nothing less from the 4-time champion. The ball, Josh Cook, who had fancied a race win at the start of this, is now going to be struggling to get on the podium. He's dumped down to 4th place, and he's got Dan Rowbottom to try and contend with next as they come out through Clark Curve. So Josh Cook just a little bit on the back foot at the moment in the Toyota. Then just behind the pair of them, you've got up to 6th place, Tom Ingram now. So Ingram on the attack in the number 80 Hyundai. He takes lots of speed out through Paddock Hill Bend. Carries the momentum, looks for a gap up the inside on the way into Druids. The gap never comes, so he goes on the outside and will try and find a line down into Graham Hill Bend, but I don't think it's quite going to happen for him on this lap at least. So Turkington leads, Hill in 2nd, 3rd Sutton, 4th Cook, 5th Rowbottom, 6th Ingram, 7th Andrew Watson, and in 8th place just behind is Tom Chilton, 9th and 10th Rob Huff, who's the first of the drivers on the soft tyre. So Rob's coming forward on the soft tyre in car number 12. The other Toyota, red and white, and 16, Aidan Moffat rounds out the top 10 as it stands, with Taylor-Smith, Morgan, Doble, Camish, 14th already, and Osborne, the other drivers in the top 15, and therefore scoring at the moment championship points. You get a bonus point for leading a lap, which Colin Turkington has got. You also get a bonus point for the fastest lap in a race as well. So Colin's gap was 1.3 seconds It's 1.7 seconds, but it has come down a little bit on that lap. It was a bit higher than that, but the fastest lap of the race has now gone to Jake Hill. They are both these BMWs run by West Surrey Racing. They're our satellite team, if you like, Laser Tools with MB Motorsport. You can see the blue flashing lights in Jake's rear window showing that he's on the hybrid now, pushing hard to try and close the gap to Colin Turkington. 5 laps hybrid available to Colin, 7 laps at the moment available to Jake Hill, 7 laps as well for Sutton in third, only 6 laps available for Josh Cook in fourth place. Tom Ingram's still got 11 laps of hybrid available, so he's going to come into this race as it goes on. Over the start-finish line they go, and Ingram is definitely closing up, isn't he? Having got ahead of Dan Rowbottom, he's only 0.4 of a second behind his next target, which is Josh Cook. So they're going up the hill into Druids now. The lead advantage is still at about 1.8 seconds. So Colin Turkington extends his advantage a little bit on that lap. And for once, Jake Hill might be looking in the mirrors today because he's got Ash Sutton there, Josh Cook. And the one to really watch out for is that number 80 Hyundai of 5th place, Tom Ingram. Dispatched pretty rapidly with Dan Rowbottom. He's left him for dead and he's homing in now on Josh Cook. Meanwhile, homing in on the Laser Tools BMW of Jake Hill is the reigning champion Ash Sutton. We've got Scott Sumpton in the pit lane about to rejoin but a lapped car. And here comes Ash Sutton trying to go around the outside. Surely he's not going to do that around the outside of the BMW. Surely not. He's going to try, you know. And he is all the way around the outside. He's ahead, but he's on the wrong line for Druids. The BMW should be able to fend him off, I think. However, Ash will be on the outside line. That will give him the better line down into Graham Hill Bend. But closing the door is the BMW of Jake Hill. I've had an off as well into the gravel trap. That might be Nick Halstead that's gone off down there at Hellwoods. So that's stranded in a potentially precarious position as the race leader at the other side of the circuit makes his way through clearways. And it's still nose to tail for second and third. It's going to be yellow flag zone, is it? And he's got going again now. So no yellow flags at Paddock Hill Bend, which is good news, potentially, for Ash Sutton. It means he's allowed to overtake. And look at Tom Ingram now drawing alongside Josh Cook. He gets his nose in front. He's on the outside line. You're a brave driver if you try to outbrake Josh Cook. It didn't quite work. And now Ash Sutton's got his foot in the door. He's going to get the job done at the inside of the BMW of Jake Hill on the way into Druids. Josh Cook's going to try and follow him through. Fantastic racing for second place. Sutton goes second. Hill closes the door on Cook, stays third, gives a little love tap to the Ford Focus on the way into Graham Hill Bend. Cook and Ingram have joined the party, and Dan Rowbottom's getting sucked into that battle as well. And onto the grass, and with loads of grass in the front radiator of Josh Cook's car, that's not going to be good. It's going to start to overheat with the airflow if that's an issue, but he is muscling his way side by side with Jake Hill. He's still on the outside of him as they come out through clearways. He's just about got his nose in front, but I'll tell you what, that grass in the radiator could be a worry for Josh Cook in the grey and white Toyota with the pink wing mirrors. The next side by side behind us, Tom Ingram gets the line and gets the job done on the way to Paddock Hill Bend to get fourth place away from Jake Hill, who might lose 2 more places here with all the momentum lost going up Hellwoods Hill because he's stranded on the outside line now. So Chilton's going to get through on him, Rowbottom's going to get through on him, and he'll lose one to Andrew Watson as well. And maybe to Aidan Moffat. So disastrous lap for Jake Hill. Was absolutely tumbled down the order in the Laser Tools BMW. Makes you wonder if you might... I know he lost momentum, but has he got an issue as well, potentially? The way they all just drove past him. It's unusual for him to lose so many positions so quickly. Let's see what the lap times are like thereafter. Alan.
Left rear puncture for Chris Marley. He's been turned around and he's about to rejoin.
Dear. So that's both the restart cars that have been in the pit lane, Sumpton and Smiley, but they're both rejoining at least. Tom Chilton looking very racy today, isn't he? He's staying with Tom Ingram as they make their way 4th and 5th through Paddock Hill Bend. Jake Hill trying to get back up the order now. Aidan Moffat trying to get stuck in as well. This is a proper touring car race. A little nudge from Dan Rowbottom to Jake Hill, which sends the BMW out wide. He won't be very happy about that. And again, he loses 2 places as a result of that coming out of Druids. So proper battle for Jake Hill here just to try and go forwards. He's taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back at the moment with all these bits of contact, getting a replay on the screens, and just a little nudge on the left rear corner of the BMW from the Ford of Dan Rowbottom, sent him wide, and loses 3 places as a result of that. So Turkington, who's not worried about any of this drama, on his own, leads the race. Sutton in second, Cook in third, Ingram fourth, Chilton going well in 5th place. on his home circuit. And then 6th place is Andrew Watson. Rob Huff now, who's on the soft tyre, come up into 6th place, flying on the soft tyre. Rowbottom is 7th, and Adam Morgan from near the back of the grid, also on the soft tyre, which is definitely quicker, is just behind. Andrew Watson's got a tattered-looking back end to his number 11 Toyota Corolla, so he's fallen down to 13th place after some contact. He's got Sam Osborne on his tail in the 4th of the Napa Racing Ford Focuses, but he's tumbled down towards the tail end of the points now, has Andrew Watson, having started on the 2nd row of the grid. Right, Colin Turkington, Serene Neon looking to become a second double winner of the season with a win in race 1 and a win in race 2, and looking to move into the championship lead, which is exactly what he'll do if he wins this race. So through he goes. 2nd place Ash Sutton, 3rd Josh Cook, 4th Tom Ingram, 5th now Tom Chilton, and 6th place, the one to watch, is Rob Huff. Now Tom Ingram right onto the tail of Josh Cook up at Druids. They come downhill into Graham Hill Bend. He won't be able to get through here, but Ingram definitely the quicker of the two as it stands. About 2-3 car length back to Tom Chilton. Keep an eye on the BMW of number 33, Adam Morgan, as well. That's another one on soft tyres, which has risen up the order. And he from near the back of the grid up into 8th place now and catching the group ahead. So, and after all that shuffling, poor Jake Hill ended up down in 10th place when he was looking for a podium finish. So the top two have crossed the line. Cook and Ingram not quite as close together as they were before. Jake Hill has got to try and deal with Dan Camish next. So Dan flying through from almost stone last on the grid in the number 27 yellow and blue Napa car. And the driver from Leeds, the 3-time Porsche Carrera Cup GB champion. He's hot on the heels of Jake Hill. He's had a battered, bruised race here in the BMW. He's right on his tail. He can't find a way through up at Druids. It's a rather large, wide car to try and pass that BMW. The Ford Focus has to sit tight for now. Behind then, you've got the Vauxhall of Mikey Doble, one of the Jack Sears Trophy front runners. Andrew Watson trying to get one of his places back on Ronan Pearson as they go up towards Surtees, and he clatters into the back of Ronan Pearson. The Scot does well to keep the car roughly pointed in the right direction because he got a proper whack on the back corner then from the car that was trying to pass him. But he did well to hold on to it just about. Pearson and Watson coming together as they came through. Right now, side by side for 3rd place. And just with his nose in front here is Tom Ingram. He's going to get the job done up at Druids. Through he goes. And he gets past the Ford. So up into the top 3 now for Tom Ingram. Gets past the Toyota, rather, of Josh Cook, who's down at 4th. 5th is the other Hyundai of Tom Chilton. 6th is Rob Huff with the yellow wing mirrors, the red and white Toyota.
I'm just amazed how long Josh Cook is going with all that grass in the front.
I know, yeah, it's a bit of a worry.
Is it gone?
Some of it's gone away,
Has he tapped it out?
I think it's been tapped out of him, yeah.
I think he just touched the back of Tingram's car when he went past, and it's dropped.
Yeah, which is a good thing, because that will overheat. He's got a battered-looking right rear corner on the car, though, and he's in the walls a bit in this race. So Turkington leads, Sutton 2nd, Ingram up to 3rd. 4th is about to be Tom Chilton, I think. He's trying to go around the outside of Josh Cook. Josh Cook with bodywork hanging off the right rear corner of the Toyota, and now nicking up the inside. No, not nicking up the inside, because the door is shut firmly in his face. So Tom Chilton switches back to the outside. That line he's covered. He's also going to try and cover off Rob Huff, who's coming at him in his red and white Toyota Gazoo racing machine. The Corolla gets alongside into Graham Hill Bend, tries to cut back on the exit to the corner, but can't do anything on the way onto the Cooper Straight. So Rob Huff, number 12, remains in 6th place, the 2012 World Touring Car Champion. Looking for his first touring car win for 20 years at some point this season if he can. So more than 4 seconds clear now. Colin Turkington, we've got 10 laps to go. We're into the second half of the race now. Sutton in 2nd, doing a solid job once again. This will be 5 podiums out of 5 for Ash Sutton if it stays like this. Hasn't won yet, but the wins, you know, are going to come this season. Won more races than anybody else last year on the way to his 4th championship title. Adam Morgan is getting stuck in now, and he's about to gain a place on Rob Huff. Up at Druids, down the inside. Surely Rob can't do anything about that. He's got a battered-looking car as well. Oh, and we've got one off. Oh, that is Jake Hill into the barriers up at Druids in the Laser Tools BMW. His race started well. It went quite badly wrong in the middle, and now it's gone awfully wrong as he's gone off the road. And the safety car is being deployed. Safety car coming out. Colin Turkington rolls his eyes. 4-second advantage wiped out. Jake Hill flicks the steering wheel in annoyance that was just one of those horrible, horrible races for him. Everything seemed to Constantine like a knock-on effect, wasn't it? One thing went wrong, then another thing went wrong.
I'm not sure the steering wheel is still connected to the wheels, because when he tapped the wheel,
it went
round and round, didn't it?
Yeah, so as he got damage from the previous incident maybe caused him to go off. Looking at an onboard replay up in the commentary box now, yeah, I think the damage was already done. He turned the wheel and nothing happened.
Steering did nothing.
Yeah, good spot, yeah. But he had rather a lot of contact with other drivers, didn't he? He was bullied out of it, wasn't he, in the middle third of that race. So, oh dear, Jake out of the race. It's going to have to be right on, pretty much right at the back of the grid now for race 3, a day which promised much a difficult day yesterday, but he flew in the first race and he was flying to a point in that race. No, flicks the steering wheel around. Nothing's happening, not connected anymore. That's why he couldn't turn the corner. So, safety car out. We can add up to 3 laps onto the race distance if they are lost to a safety car, but no more than that. So the race distance could go up to 25, 26 or 27 laps as Jake Hill walks away, head down, wanting to win the championship this year. He's taken a seat with the marshals. We've kindly given him a chair and he's having a chat with them.
Well, he just took it, actually, but they didn't argue.
Not going to argue with him, are they?
No.
What we can hope for and look forward to is probably a charging drive from Jake in race 3, but not the day he wanted on his home circuit. And having started the season pretty decently at Donington Park, it's been a very frustrating day for him today. Well, a whole weekend, really. But there's a long way to go, and they're all going to have a bad one here or there, aren't they? Getting another replay. I think the car had started to go. I mean, he got around Paddock Hill Bend. Thankfully, the steering held together through there, because that would have been hairy. Gets through there, and on the exit it looks a bit wobbly. It looks like it's maybe started to go on the exit to the corner there, and then he tries to turn right. The steering wheel turns, but the wheels don't.
Horrible feeling.
Yeah, awful, yeah. But, yeah, thankfully it was that corner, not the one before, eh?
Yeah, I should say.
That would have been hair-raising at that speed. Andrew Watson's battered Toyota has been for a visit to the pits.
Well, there's a couple of battered Toyotas, aren't there? Rob Huff's one as well.
Yeah, still up there in 7th place, but yeah, looking a bit second-hand. So out goes Andrew Watson's another one that's going to have to come from the back of the field. Has he already lost a lap? No, I think he stayed on the lead lap, hasn't he? So he could do with another lap or two behind the safety car to catch them up. He's just going up towards Druid's safety car, driven by Scott Stringfellow, with just behind him the race leader in the car that's leading them around, the Porsche safety car. You've got Scott Stringfellow, who's the safety car driver in all the races, driving different cars in different categories. And you've also got Kieran Salmons, the observer there. They're in contact with race control. Getting a replay in the commentary box of the start on board with Jake Hill, which was a very, very good start for him. Third, straight away, and then contact with Josh Cook on the way up in towards Druids. Josh did well there. I mean, he was completely sideways.
How does he hold on to that?
I don't know. I was basically turning left to just keep the thing in a straight line, wasn't
he? He's such a determined driver, isn't he?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure that Robbie's going to be staying out on circuit, with that body damage.
Yeah, they'll certainly look at it. If it's just to be too dangerous, he might be asked to come off the circuit. But we're about to get racing back up to full speed. It'll be an extended race distance now. Colin Turkington's 4-second advantage has been more or less wiped out. Tom Ingram's going to be the one to watch here. He had quite a big gap to try and make up at Ash Sutton, but that has now helpfully been much reduced. So watch for the Hyundai in 3rd place. He already gets closer under braking on the way to Paddock Hill Bend. Josh Cook, Tom Chilton and Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan having a terrific race here. He's done well anyway, but the safety car can help him pick up a few more places now. So watch for the 33 BMW, who was, remember, almost on pole position yesterday. He's trying to go around the outside of Tom Chilton. That goes in the inside line on the way down into Graham Hill Bend, and through he goes. And Tom's a fair driver, so he gives him the space, and Adam comes through. So Morgan up to 5th place now. You're absolutely right. Black and orange flag coming the way, I'm afraid, of Rob Huff. So Rob Huff in 7th place. Yeah, he's been asked to leave the circuit and fix the car. Black and orange flag, you have to come in within 3 laps of seeing that. You can go back out again, but of course it's basically race over. We're going to have lots of quick drivers at the back of the grid for race 3, aren't we? Could be a tasty prospect. But Rob Huff is going to be leaving the circuit shortly. Up at row bottom up to 7th. Well, he's already 7th anyway. He's got ahead of him. Then Moffat will move up to 8th. Camish will move up to 9th place from the back of the field. He's going to be one to watch. He's going to be pretty electric in the remaining laps of this race as well, isn't he? So BMW from Ford, from Hyundai, from Toyota, from BMW, your top 5 coming down into the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend, but Turkington's just starting to ease away a little bit again. On one of the curbs is Aidan Moffat having a big old battle with Mikey Doble as they go through on the fringe of the top 10. They're just going through the left-hander at Surtees, and then coming out of Clearways now the race leader.
If they're bringing Rob Huff in for flapping bodywork at the back of the car, can Josh Cook stay out?
In comes Rob Huff, so in he comes now. Now, you're right, it's a very similar damage, isn't it, to the back right corner of Josh Cook, and the black and orange flag is coming out for him as well. So Josh Cook is about to have to report to the pit lane to get the damage fixed.
OK, I'm definitely going to do the lottery this week. Right.
Josh Cook should never play the lottery. He doesn't have a great deal of good luck either, does he? It's coming the way, this, though, isn't it, of Adam Morgan. So that will promote Adam from... where did he start the race? Almost at the back of the grid. 15th on the grid. He's going to be up to 4th place when Josh Cook comes into the pits. And you're going to have Dan Camish up to 7th place as well. He's got past Aidan Moffat. His next target is going to be Dan Rowbottom, who will be promoted up to 6th place once Josh Cook is out of that 4th place when he reports to the pits very soon. Meanwhile, look at Tom Ingram all over the back of Ash Sutton. 2 champions together between them. The top 3 have got no less than 9 championship titles. Tom Ingram pushing on then as he closes up on the way up towards Druids. Morgan needs that second group of cars. Tom Chilton in that group. He's trying to get onto the case of Josh Cook. He doesn't really need to, because Josh is going to have to pull off the circuit within the next 2 laps. And Tom will have been told that, but he also won't want to leave the door open. Oh, flings it up the inside now. The way to Graham Hill Bend, gets ahead of Josh Cook. Josh is still fighting. Dan Rowbottom tries to get past the pair of them out onto the Cooper straight. He might just do it. Through he goes up the inside, and Dan Rowbottom pounces on Tom Chilton, gets 2 places for the price of 1. Nice move that from the man from Kidderminster. So through he goes and up now into what will be 5th place. So Turkington, Sutton, Ingram come through. Morgan in a brilliant 4th place. Rowbottom up to 5th. Chilton up to 6th. The pit lane siren klaxon sounds, and that's going to be Josh Cook coming into the pits to serve his black and orange, I'm afraid. That's going to be another quick driver near the back of the field as nose to tail in this newly extended race with 5 laps to go, including this one now. It is the battle for between Ash Sutton. Oh, is that going wide? That's one of the Toyota Corollas going very wide. Andrew Watson it was, having a big old trip through the gravel trap up at Hellwoods Hill, but he got out of the gravel trap, fortunately. Josh Cook is about to get out of the pit lane, albeit nearly a lap down on the leaders. And the battle for 2nd place between Ash Sutton and Tom Ingram continues to rage. That's helping Colin Turkington to ease away, but Turkington has looked in control of this. It was interesting what he was saying when he ran the soft tires. Whoa! Tom Ingram all over the grass, just chucks it at the inside of Ash Sutton. Whoa! What a move! That was fantastic. He had 2 wheels on the grass. He was sideways, and he's trying to pass a bloke that's won 4 championship titles, and he's not shy on the brakes. And through he went. That was spectacular from Tom Ingram. It's the only way to overtake Ash Sutton is clearly to just throw it up the inside on the grass. That was fantastic. But Ash is a bit riled by that. He's coming back at him now as they come onto the Cooper straight, flashing his headlights. I think he was best pleased about that. He's trying to get the place back, but that was better than the move Tom Ingram pulled off at that corner last year, which was pretty breathtaking. Just about got through the corner there. I mean, he was dancing on the edge of Adhesion there. He could have easily been off in the barriers, but he just about got it slowed down. What a move from Tom Ingram. But, you know, all the points are going to count, and if you've got to beat Ash Sutton, you've got to pull out all the stops. He did that, didn't he? Up to 2nd place from Tom Ingram. Wow. Fantastic move. So Turkington leads, Ingram 2nd, Sutton 3rd, Morgan in 4th, 5th Rowbottom, 6th Chilton. And now we've got Mikey Doble having a bit more of a battle with Roden Pearson. Not for the first time in this race. He's got the inside line, and the 88 Vauxhall Astra gets up the inside to go into 9th place. So Mikey Doble gains another one, an Independence race winner at Donington Park last year, when on the last couple of corners of the race, he overtook what was a brilliant drive in the wet from Nick Hamilton to get 6th place and win his first Independence category race, and now 2nd season in the Vauxhall Astra. And Mikey Doble doing a nice job there to get ahead of Ronan Pearson. Right, this battle not yet done. Ash Sutton is a bit wound up as they go down into Paddock Hill Bend. Ingram has got 1 lap left of hybrid, but so too Sutton. Same for Turkington. We've got 2 laps of the race left to run, including the one we've just started. Up at Druids, trying to go around the outside, but really just trying to set himself up for the next corner. Tingers knows exactly what all that is about, so he just sits on the racing line and doesn't allow any opportunity for the four-time champion to get past. There's a bit more contact, though, as Ash Sutton tries to come around the outside. Coming out of Graham Hill Bend, tags the back of the Hyundai. Proper touring car racing. Contact, but fair enough, and they all get through it. Still with Tom Ingram just ahead. Poor Josh Cook over the line now, back in 16th place. He's not even going to get a championship point. And here we go. Morgan, flying after the pair of them. They're holding each other up. Last lap of the race about to start. Morgan fancies a podium in 4th place. Can he steal it in the BMW? He's got 1.2 miles to try and get from 4th to 3rd. Trouble is, he's got 2 champions ahead of him. To try and dispose one of them is not going to be easy. So that battle for 2nd place up for the final time into Druids. And it's still Tom Ingram 2nd, still 3rd, Ash Sutton. And with them now in 4th place from 15th on the grid, Adam Morgan with an absolutely terrific drive. Remember the top 6 to 12, one of those is going to get the reverse grid pole, depending on which number is drawn out, 6 to 12. So it could be anybody in that position at the moment, but we're seeing who's going to finish on the podium first, because into the final corner they go, still nose to tail, still Ingram 2nd, still Sutton 3rd. Here's the checkered flag for the 2nd time today, the 2nd time this season, and for the championship lead, Colin Turkington wins. 2nd place to Ingram, side by side for 3rd. Morgan almost gets past Sutton on the line, but by 25 thousandths of a second he misses out on a podium. But what a drive that was from Adam Morgan on the soft tyre, from 15th to 4th and very nearly to 3rd place. If the start-finish line had been about 20 metres further up, he'd have got that, but it wasn't quite to be. So Turkington wins, Ingram 2nd, Sutton 3rd, Morgan 4th, Rowbottom in 5th, Chilton in 6th, Camish 7th, good effort from the back of the field, Moffat in 8th place, Doble wins the Independence in 9th, ahead of the Independence Championship leader and his teammate Aaron Taylor-Smith, who was 10th, Ronan Pearson 11th, and then Sam Osborne 12th. Nick Halstead gets his first points of the season in 13th place. Darryl De Leon in the points in 14th as well, almost matching his best results so far, which came here at Brands at the end of the season when he got 12th place in his first half season of the British Touring Car Championship. And then the other points finisher was Andrew Watson, number 11, in 15th, with a rather battered and disappointing race, and out of the points for Josh Cook after getting the black and orange flag, having to visit the pits when he was running in 4th place. Chris Smiley also had to come into the pits to repair damage. I think it was puncture, wasn't it, Alan said. It's a 17th place for him, but 2 laps down. Rob Huff never went back out, so non-finish for Rob Huff, non-finish for Jake Hill with his damaged front suspension, and Scott Sumpton in and out of the pits, but ended up retiring from the race as well. The fastest lap point went to Ash Sutton, so bonus championship point for Ash, and that is now 5 podiums out of 5. You can ask Colin Turkington about building a championship by being consistent. Remember that one championship that he won with just 1 race win out of 30, but lots of points and podium positions. Might just take something like that this season. But a 2nd win for Colin Turkington, and provisionally he's got the championship lead now by 1 point from Tom Ingram. So 85 for Colin Turkington, 84 for Tom Ingram, 80 in 3rd place for Ash Sutton. Jake Hill dropping away, staying on 55 points in 4th place. Aidan Moffat, 51. Josh Cook, 6th on 47. Dan Rowbottom, 7th on 36 points. Adam Morgan, 8th on 35. Dan Camish, 9th on 33. And Tom Chilton, 10th in the championship on 30 points. So just 1 point between Colin Turkington and Tom Ingram, and only 5 points between the top 3 in the championship. These 3 championship champions are going to be going at it for this year's championship from what we've seen so far over the last 2 weekends. So we'll have the overall podium, and winning independent, Mikey Doble. Great drive from Mikey. He wasn't without a bit of battering, but he got through to 9th and won the independence category ahead of Aaron Taylor-Smith. There are only 0.2 of a second between them at the checkered flag, and that will be coming up very shortly. Remember, we've got the reverse grid number as well, so the results of this race set the grid for race 3, but with the top 6 to top 12, depending on which number is pulled out of the bowl, that's the number that's reversed. So 6th place, Tom Chilton, could be on reverse grid pole position for race 3. It could be Dan Camish. What a story that would be. He finished 7th, so if the number 7 is drawn, it'll be him. Aidan Moffat, Mikey Doble, Aaron Taylor-Smith, Ronan Pearson and Sam Osborne are all drivers that could be on pole position for race 3.
Wonderful scenes down here, Chris. delighted is Colin Turkington and the team, and that's the reception for Tom Ingram as he slaps the top of the car. I think you can describe that as a proper touring car race. That was just stunning. It was all going on behind Colin. ITV are in a break, so I can speak to Colin after he's given Louise his helmet and all the warm, sweaty bits, and he gets a cold towel in return. So I think that's a good deal, Colin. What a race was taking place behind you. You were driving your own race, but you must have seen a couple of little bits in the mirror.
Not really, actually. I could see, obviously, the safety car. I think that left us maybe 6 laps to go. I could see it was Ash, then Tom, and I realised pretty quickly they were getting involved in a pretty epic scrap. So, I was...
Just got your head down and carried on.
Too right. Every time I checked the mirror, I was another couple of car lengths ahead. So, it doesn't usually work like that. Normally you're under pressure right to the end, but... it's great race on the medium tyre. That could have been a lot more difficult than it was. So, we managed it well.
Oh, you're a top man. Thank you, Colin. Thank you very much indeed. I'm going to talk to Tingram as well while ITV are in their ad break and congratulate Tingram after he's put his helmet and everything inside the furnace that is the car. He takes the bottle of water. That was, so I don't usually use this word, that was epic.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was a sweaty one. Yeah, that was a busy race. That was a very busy race. We knew that hybrid has been what's slowing us down this weekend, so to have had it for that race was quite lovely.
It was a smashing little battle between the two of you, and I used the word advisedly.
It was absolutely that. Yeah, we were. It's as though as Ash and I don't really like each other at that, doesn't it?
No, I didn't mean that at all. No, well done, Tom. Thank you very much indeed. Let's speak to Ash about this as Tom goes over to speak to Ash. Is he all right? Yeah, he's all right. Just a quick word between the two of them. But it was... right, OK, they're still talking. Tom's explaining something. Ash has got things to say. OK, it was an epic battle between the two of you, but clearly you two need a couple of words after a race.
Look, it's just one of those. The rules state if there's a car gap, you can go for it. There wasn't a car gap, but he used the grass to make the gap. So, for me, not really on, but it is what it is. I'll be honest, I'm still pleased with the result. We didn't have the hybrid. He had twice as amount as us, and I think ultimately we had the faster race car. So, it's a nice touch to have that going into race 3. But yeah, I'm just focused on race 3 now.
Can I remind you of something? 5 rounds complete, 5 podiums.
Let's go for the 6, like we said, shall we? But that'd be tough. Obviously, we've got the soft tyre to help us. I just need to have a look who's really on the soft around us, and we'll go from there.
The draw is about to take place, Ash. Thank you very much indeed. So there's the thoughts of Ash Sutton. There's the thoughts of Tom Ingram and Colin Turkington down in Parc Fermé. A podium is coming up next.